God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every storm wall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Because you are the very breath I breathe. And you put your fatal love created me. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know, you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Good morning.
Good morning. All is good and all is well, and I am missing all the people that are not here to celebrate with us. I know some people are still in Dallas. They looked at that darn sky, I guess, and got scared. I don't know, Tam. But, so Tam, was that a song from Posse? Or just, it's a good song, whatever you
Well, Daniel was there. He did play that one during Posse, so it's not a new song.
It's wonderful.
One of his old ones.
So, let's all just greet each other.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give all my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. My decision right here and now. I walk on the bridge. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on the bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me look good. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. decision right here and now.
Now, it's all about the choice. I choose love. I choose joy. I choose to be here. Telling Travis we're the lucky ones. And I just want to put the Christ light in us. And God, in the center of this room, this is such a bright place. May others see this light and come join. So what is our daily word today? It's comfort. Immersed in God's presence. Here we are. We find strength and comfort. And there's our prayer box. And I'm the prayer chaplain for today. And the prayers can be put in the box and sent. They would send them to Unity, Silent Unity, every 30 days. And you can also approach any of our prayer chaplains for assistance. And please let us know if you need to be added to a prayer list. Pat Walser is here today, and I've got something for her later. But anyway, we'll be thinking about Pat too. I'll go ahead and say it's her 79th birthday. And we do have a card that you can sign in back. She has been such an inspiration for all of us, leading us into forming our prayer team. So now let us together say our statement of being. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. Well, today for prayer, I'm not going to do the prayer. I'm going to ask some assistance. In our C class last week, I had the privilege of sitting next to Linda Strickland, our new board president, and one of our assignments one day was to write the 23rd Psalm in our own words. And Linda read hers. It was so beautiful that I immediately said, "Hey, you're doing that on Sunday." But no, seriously, I really want her to share that with you. And I know we're all familiar with the 23rd Psalm, but she so personalized this. And I think it ends up being just a beautiful prayer. So Linda, would you join us?
I will not repeat the 23rd Psalm. I think most of you are familiar with "The Lord is my shepherd."
Mm-hmm.
So everyone, please relax and get centered in yourself and just take a deep breath. This is my interpretation of the 23rd Psalm. My divine Christ within is my keeper. I am without need. I rest in thy abundance without concern. My spirit, soul is regenerated when I follow Christ's example. Even though I experience emotional turmoil, I stand strong in my heart, which centers me. As I work to achieve oneness while in my limitations, I maintain love for all. Living well with best intention allows me connection with my higher power throughout life. And so it is.
So, as many of you know, Bill and I were in Positive Message past week. And one of the keynote speakers was Ricky Byers. Ricky Byers Bedworth. She's no longer married to Michael Bedworth, but that's my first experience with her, and she is awesome. And I'm not just saying it musically. She gave a great talk. I enjoyed her talk as much as I've ever enjoyed anybody's talk. She made us laugh. She was interesting, just really interesting. So this is one of her songs. Holy, Holy Lady. Please sing along with this. The words are pretty simple. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live each day a little kinder. Let me live each day a little kinder. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. I know you were talking about homeless.
Yes. No, I'm so glad. That was perfect. So, we're going to start with our meditation today, and I've asked Chris to lead the meditation. Sorry, y'all, he's the best that I know of for this. He's always so wonderful, takes us deep. So, Chris.
Good morning. I love that song, and I want to begin with that. I want to begin our meditation with our eyes open. Because if we can't learn to find stillness and silence with our eyes open, we can't truly live in a holy way. So just begin by noticing the sensation of yourself here present in this moment. Letting yourself take in everything that the eyes can see. Not looking around, just experiencing, or you can, but experiencing the sense of the whole picture. Take a moment to be in this presence, in the stillness, in the quiet. And let's close our eyes. Still noticing that the silence hasn't gone away. Noticing the sensations of the body as it sits quietly. If there is any discomfort, don't mind it. Breathe into it. And just be here with God in the moment. It's quiet here, but notice the sounds around you. And notice the silence within yourself, within which you can hear these sounds. One or two of you may have had a thought come for a minute. Notice the quiet place in which the thoughts appear. Let go of the meaning for a moment and simply notice the process of thoughts appearing and then disappearing. Notice that sounds and thoughts don't make the silence go away. They are held in silence. Notice if there is any limit to this silence that you can experience in yourself if you notice. Can you find an end to it? This silence is holy, holy. And it never loses. So very slowly and gently as you're ready, let's have you open your eyes, looking down at first maybe. And continuing to notice that there is silence here within us. Eyes open and closed. The silence never ends. Lights begin to come on, and they too don't have to overcome the silence, the stillness. Not even the bright lights when you're up here. So let us begin to live in a holy, holy way. If the Lord is our shepherd. Thank you.
So today we're just gonna, several of us are gonna share our journeys that we've taken outside of UT Little. And Tam and Bill, if y'all may want to just share around your music, but is there something that you want to say first about your experience? Yeah.
Well, it was blessed. We didn't see much. It was a lot of fun. We did not sleep much, and we got to make a lot of music and get all the people, and it was so much fun.
Can't hear you well.
Well, all right. I was there. I can go grab a mic.
So my
To
question,
begin with,
it was a long spring road trip. And we arrived there and went to the songwriting class at Stanfield, which is always an experience, co-wrote a song. And then after that, there was no sleep. And nothing but good music. And Tim already told me about Ricky Byers' keynote. There was another keynote, by the name Scott Ainsley, which I loved his keynote. He really got to the heart of what music is all about. So it was a transformative experience to me. It's really wonderful. I recommend it to anybody who loves music and it loves, our kind of religion.
Right. I kind of tagged Bill and Tam as our ministers of music. And I love it that y'all had the opportunity to gain that inspiration and bring it back to us. And because Tam, I know when you went last year, I think you really brought back a lot. And James was bragging about Carla. There was yeah, and I said, well, no, we were there. we were there also.
I was there.
Yeah.
I remember
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, there was, I guess 3 things, if I can count.
Sure.
Connection and reconnection is the same thing. So reconnection because I got to reconnect with some of the people I've gotten to know. And then some new friends, some new faces and stuff like that. It was really great. And we had a blast. And like Bill said, we didn't sleep. It just wasn't an option. I tried. Even the night I stayed up at 1:30 in the morning, which I can't remember how many, which doesn't happen. I don't even stay up till midnight on New Year's Eve anymore. But here I was, thinking that by the time I finally went to bed, I'd sleep. Well, oh no. And I was up at 6:30 anyways. So I was just all on that. So 2 other things. Growth for me, because when I went last year, I felt a little bit more confident. We each got to perform a song on stage. And I felt a little bit more confident last year. And then this year, I was just so chill about it. I had recruited Bill and some of my friends as backup singers and another guitar player, and I had a drummer, and I just had all this support. And I was just into it. I was just ready to do it. It was so cool.
That's fun.
And synchronicity is the other word I would like to share, because someone mentioned, we had an orientation the first night before it started, and someone said, look for signs of synchronicity during the week. So I'm sitting there, I got up early one morning, I was sitting there having a cup of coffee and a muffin or something, and there was a couple people talking right next to me, and I overhear this conversation. So I'm like, oh, it was a guy and a gal. He was saying something, and she's like, oh, well, she was my roommate in college or something like that. I'm just like, whoa. So I had to walk over and I said, there's that synchronicity. And then later, and I didn't introduce myself at the time. I knew the gentleman, Jim. I didn't know who the gal was. Well, the next morning, maybe the same morning, I ended up sitting next to this gal, and we introduced each other, and it's Carla from Dallas. So that was like double synchronicity there. I'm like, oh, really? I said, yeah, you're about to get dated by a bunch of little Latvians. Did you know that? So I think that was, maybe that was on Sunday. I don't know.
That's okay.
It must have been on Monday morning. But that was it for me. It was a great time. Like Bill said, you don't have to be a songwriter, a musician, a minister, a licensed community teacher. You don't have to be a prayer team. You can be anything and just go there and have a great time. So, and it's next year they're moving it back to Kansas City. By the way.
Oh, okay. Something.
End of April.
Yeah, now that you're moving to Atlanta, it's going to come.
Well, yes, of course, yes. Now this year would have been a nice easy drive to Kansas City.
Okay. Yes, we did invade Dallas, sort of. It was Travis, Linda, Sandy stayed down a little bit longer, and myself. And yeah, but we made a splash everywhere. We really did. I kind of heard it was all good, it was all good. So Travis, want to share?
Oh, yeah, thank you, Jeannie. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, great week in Dallas. This was my first experience at Seaweek, so which is spiritual enrichment and education. Spiritual enrichment and education. I think I was throwing it in life. I think that was wrong. So one of the things I accomplished at Seaweek is I learned what C stands for, spiritual enrichment and education. So, and it was a great week. It was great. And Madeline was there. My daughter was with me, and she actually took a class in self-care. So we had, even though she's not officially part of Unity with Little Rock, she was another Little Rockian, or North Little Rockian that was there. You know, and I didn't know what to expect, but I've never done this before. I did know, you know, I've gone to the prayer chaplain's retreat the last 2 years, and I've just come back so enriched and so filled up from those experiences. So I was really looking forward to this week. And you know, when you're getting ready to do a week like this, when you're going to be doing some diving deep into some spiritual principles, for me, it's not uncommon, like once I've made the decision to go a few weeks ahead of time, well then stuff started going on. You know, I started, whatever was going to be my issue, my challenge, my opportunity for growth and learning was starting to come to the surface. And my very first class at 10 o'clock on Monday morning, I started getting triggered. I was getting triggered, and of course, you know, it was all my stuff. And you know, this woman is teaching this class, and I'm thinking, my goodness, she's doing a terrible job of teaching this class. And that was just all the thoughts going on in my mind. And so I came back Tuesday, and it was just even worse. And, you know, and then the whole time I'm looking. This is my feelings, you know. I'm putting my NBC, don't know, I've been participating with the nonviolent communication group for a few years now, and I really find that very valuable. So I'm processing this. Wow, what's being triggered up for me? What's going on for me that I'm feeling all these feelings, and what do I need? What's happening here? Well, Tuesday, something happened in the class, and you know, I asked a question. Let's just say that you know, we had an opportunity for growth and learning that involved the entire class, okay? And the instructor and I, and you know, and one of the things I learned from it was, you know, because this was a class on communication. Well, you know, you need to ask clarifying questions. Make sure I have my information correct before I start making assumptions. So when I signed up for this class, in the book, one of the books was the Marshall Rosenberg, you know, nonviolent communication book. So I'm thinking this is going to be an NBC class. And I've taken several NBC workshops, and I know what an NBC workshop looks like, and smells like, and tastes like, and feels like. I know what it's supposed to go like. And what I just did on Monday was not an NBC workshop. And I actually thought Monday, and I shared this on Friday, and I thought, this is the worst NBC teacher I've ever seen. Well, she was not teaching NBC. She was teaching just a basic communication class. And we've all taken these, you know, skills in communicating in the business world and how you talk to people, and, you know, very good stuff. And so once I realized, and I got clarity within my own mind, this is not an NBC class, but then I was able to shift my perspective and then able to settle down into the class and enjoy it. Unfortunately, a lot of other people have been triggered by this time. And so this was on a Tuesday. Well, Wednesday, I wasn't even planning on being in class. Madeline and I were going to take a skip day, and she wanted to go visit some of the museums in the area. But I couldn't skip Wednesday. After what happened Tuesday, not that it was anything, I mean, y'all got to understand, you know, it was all, but it was, I knew I could not skip class. I had to show up for that class Wednesday morning to be there because I knew there was going to be some follow-up from everything that happened. And indeed, there was. Apparently, what happened between the instructor and myself was talked about throughout the entire week. And the thing is, we all came together. And it's really, and what came up for me is I was working on this through the week, and I was processing it. And, you know, and the thing that came up for me was something she shared about, like, if you ever feel stuck in your life, and you know, we've all felt stuck. You know, and I've kind of been feeling stuck here the last month or so. That's one of the reasons I wanted to go to the Seaweek. If you feel stuck in your life, then you look for the facts. And she said the FAD stands for fear, anger, disappointment, and sadness. Well, you know, I was well with fear, and anger, and sadness. But what really struck me was the disappointment. And what I got clarity on was that I had this really, there's been something major that happened here in the last 6 weeks or so. That was a huge disappointment for me in my life. A major disappointment. And I was recognizing it, but I wasn't aware of just how deeply it had affected me. And then I began to look at all the little minor disappointments. And you know what? We all suffer disappointments in life. And what I came around to as I got looking at this was, you know, these disappointments that I have are tied in directly to my expectations. You know, I think I know how something should go. I think I know how that conversation is supposed to go, or how this was supposed to work out, or how, you know, this investment was supposed to do, or whatever it may be. You know, and I have these expectations, and when they don't meet, it doesn't come out the way I expected, well, then I feel this disappointment. So, you know, looking at that, what's the answer? Well, the answer is faith. You know, that's what I came back to. From this big disappointment, you know, you've got to have faith. You know, it gives me the opportunity to build and to establish my faith and my trust in the goodness of life. To put in these principles that we're learning at Unity, that we learn here, there is one, that everything is working out for the good of the way it's supposed to. So as I was meditating on this, I found I had two things I'm going to leave with you, my little ahas that came through. And I had some really good meditations. Fortunately, I had a hotel room. My daughter was battling to stay with my son. And it was beautiful, really. My son, the church, and my hotel, we were all within just a few miles of each other. You know, my son lives right there in Dallas. And so she stayed over there. So I had my room to myself because I knew I would be time for meditation, quiet time, you know, taking care of myself. But one of the things that came through me, a thought that came to me in my meditation was an idea, a question. And I'm going to ask you this morning, what would your life be like if you had no judgment? That's what would my life be like if I had no judgment? Because, you know, I became just acutely aware of how much I was judging myself, right and wrong. And, you know, that doesn't mean I wouldn't have preferences. My favorite color is blue. So even if I had no judgment, blue would still be my favorite color. That's my preference. You know, my favorite food is Mexican food. That wouldn't miss. But that means if I had no judgment, that means, well, if your favorite color is red, that doesn't mean you're a dirty, low-down son of a gun, and, you know, you're wrong, and you're evil, and you're bad. And if you like Mexican, or if you like Chinese food, if I had no judgment, there would be no right, wrong, no good or bad. It's just, you prefer country music, and you prefer rap. You know, whatever the case may be. What would my life be like if I had no judgment? And then the other thought that came to me was just as I was thinking about this Friday morning and going back, because I really didn't want to go back. I got to tell you guys, you know, I mean, it was just, I was embarrassed because I had a misconception, and so I was embarrassed, I was chagrined, you know, I was disappointed in myself, I was discouraged because it kind of made this whole brouhaha in the class. But it all worked out beautifully, y'all. I mean, it's just unbelievable the connection between Alexis and myself that was there. But anyway, so Friday morning, you know, I'm thinking, I've got to go back, I've got to end up this day, and really I woke up my small self wanted to get the car and just come on back to Arkansas and duck out, and I couldn't do that. And the thought was, just be the light. Just be the light. So again, what would it be like if I can just be the light in my life, whatever it is I'm having to do on a moment-to-moment, day-to-day basis, just be the light wherever I am. And so that's what I'm going to do. Hoping I'm doing this morning. It was a valuable experience. You know, I didn't even see Sandy all weekend. She was taking like 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock classes, and I was done by 3 every day. And Natalie and I, we were getting out, running out and playing. And Thursday we did take off and we went to Fort Worth and visited the museums over in Fort Worth, which was beautiful experience. I'm already planning for October, October 7th, when it's going to be, and I'm thinking I'm going back. And next time I'm going to go, and if the kids go with me, I would love for my daughter to accompany me again, but it's going to be all about focusing on being there for the Sea Week. I was trying to get some playtime and some Sea Week time together, but I'm going to go back, and if none of you, if you've never been, I would highly recommend that you come to Sea Week. And I'm just happy to do it.
That's great.
Sit down.
I'm so glad. So, for me, I've been to every Sea Week they've had. I think they started this 2 years ago. And so this is the third spring that they've done it. And, but you do have to have a week. I understand that can be difficult, but now, we've had Sea here at Little Rock too, and Sea classes, like Beverly has taught them, Paul Hasselbeck. And when we have that group together, it's really amazing how we get to know each other at this deeper level, and we're having conversations, not about what's for dinner, but we're having conversations about, well, how does Christ live in you, and what does healing mean to you? It's really, really deep, good conversations. And but the real deal is that immersive week. It's fun. That was James' dream to build a campus down there, and their facility is so wonderful and big, and it truly has become a campus. And there were people there from Massachusetts. This time they've had people from the West Coast. So that is really cool that James went there with a dream, and he's building it. But now Sea Week's very personal to me, and so it's kind of all about the story. Well, one of the classes I took was interpretations of the Bible, the Old Testament Hebrews. Now y'all may be rolling your eyes. I know unity, the Bible. But you know what? We're one of the few New Thought churches that still really reads the Bible too. And it doesn't have to be the Bible, y'all. It could be Harry Potter, it could be any sacred text. It's just a way to interpret the story for your personal self. In fact, I love to sit next to Linda. Okay, so the teacher, the way he taught us to do it was take a story and fill out this chart. And the first thing you do is you fill out all the nouns and the places and the people and so forth and the actions, and then you start interpreting it. Okay, you know me, mathematician, chart. Oh, I'm all about it. I can do that. In fact, I had Paul Hasselbeck before, so man, I was on it. And Linda goes, chart? I don't want to do this. And so she always did it her way. And as y'all see, it came out beautifully. So it was fun to sit there with those different kind of learning styles, and I really enjoyed that. But the important part was no matter what, no matter how you did it, you personalized it. Now, the story, I don't want to go into this too much, because this could be a good lesson later, but the story that I ended up on was how Joshua tumbled down the walls of Jericho. I tell you, there is murder in the Old Testament, cheating, lying, prostitutes, you name it, it's in the Old Testament, y'all. It's our human story. But what I love about how Joshua did tumble down the walls of Jericho, you've heard it with the trumpets. Well, it was the trumpets and the people shouting. It was with vibration. And honestly, they say scientifically that really could happen if they set the right vibration. And if you think about it, we use music, we use vibration in our life all the time. We are energy fields using vibration. And so that's kind of vibration in extreme. But here's the cool deal: when you take a story and you meditate on it and you get contemplative about it, it starts living in you. So I'm telling you, I don't see walls everywhere. I'm thinking about these walls. In fact, I was sitting in my kitchen this morning, and I have my son built this big peninsula, and I love to get behind that peninsula and cook while everyone's sitting on the blue couch, our little sitting area. But I started thinking, well, there's a wall. That is like a wall. I'm in my comfort zone cooking over here, and I'm visiting with people, but it's kind of a wall. So, and we know, hey, You know, Trump's trying to build that wall. And so the wall can be internal, just in our daily lives or in the world. And so these stories live at many different levels. And the cool deal is to take a story and really think about it like that. So that's what I got out of that course. And then, but then after the interpretation, I had a course called Healing and Wholeness. And I got to tell you, if you start thinking about what healing means to you, and if you are a healer, and if you really believe in that, that's where you get some deep questions about what you think unity is. And indeed, it was that kind of week for me. But story still lives in healing. In fact, we have a healing story that is the foundation of unity. We know about Myrtle having tuberculosis. And, you know, for years they just told her, oh, there's nothing we can do about this. It's the most sickly child. And then she got with Charles and she decided, she went to Emmy Weeks and heard that she was a child of God. And it took her a little over 2 years of real dedicated spiritual practice to heal. But the one that interested me was about Charles. Charles looked at his wife and said, I wonder if that can work for me too. But he was much more critical of the process. He was skeptical. And he started reading and studying, and he was just getting all this different information. And he said, in this battle, I will go to headquarters. I'm going to quit reading, I'm going to go to headquarters. If I am spirit, and this God they talk so much about is spirit, we can somehow communicate, or the whole thing's a fraud. So I'm going to test it out. So then I commenced sitting in the silence every night at a certain hour and trying to get in touch with God. There was no enthusiasm about it, no soul desire, but it was a cold, calculating business method. This was Charles. I was there on time every night and tried in all conceivable ways to realize that my mind was in touch with the Supreme Mind. So at first he didn't get any results, but as he went on, he did begin to get results. He had a leg that had been healed in an accident in his youth, and he wore like an iron brace. And they say eventually, this leg was shorter than the other, and they say that eventually it actually became the same length. So over a long period of time, it really did heal itself. Immediately he was relieved of the pain of it. So we have those healing stories at our core in unity. But, you know, if you start reading Myrtle and Charles, like particularly Myrtle, she wrote the healing letters, and she was so darn dedicated. I look at her with awe and respect, but a little, like, fear, like, God, I could never be like that. You know, you start doubting yourself. I mean, she lived it every day, just about every thought. Or at least that's the story that we go by. And her process for healing was that this is not real medical or prescriptive, but listen to this. She's got 5 steps. Know the truth of you. Notice your thoughts and your actions and maybe what's been going on around you. Use your creative power. See health as your natural state and realize oneness. And that all comes about through that meditation and prayer. And also that 5th step in our principles, taking some action too. And she said, and I put this in the newsletter, I am a child of God. Perfect wholeness is my birthright. So, fortunately, we didn't just read Myrtle and Charles. We also read a wonderful book by Robert Brunnett called The Quest for Wholeness. And that's more contemporary knowledge. He wrote that around early 2000s. And so what is wholeness? He said it's really a divine idea. We can't define it, but we can experience it. Just like we can't really define love as a divine idea, but we know it when we experience it. So it could mean so many things because there's so many different experiences and situations that we all have that call for wholeness. And it's not just about us, it's about this community, here in Unity, communities outside, and just the whole world. Our hearts probably know the meaning of wholeness before our minds figure it out. We just don't talk to the heart all the time. So, but if we're on a divine identity with our divine mind, we live a spirit-centered life, as Myrtle and Charles did. Well, that's another story. I love it that they talked about, though, there's aspects that you can practice to gain wholeness, self-awareness, balance. You integrate all your values together with that integrity and alignment, and then self-actualization. And he talked about how to be a cultural creative, using that creative power. That's actually a term that's come up through, I think probably Ken Wilber, the cultural creative. So bear with me, I'm going to come to another. Okay. So he talks about cultural creatives or self-actualizers. Now, I love this. This is written by a poet named J. Stone. The most invisible creators I know are those artists whose medium is life itself. Now, I do Nia dance, and one of the principles of Nia is that life is art. Art is, either way, it's just living life. The ones who express the inexpressible without brush, hammer, clay, or guitar. They neither paint nor sculpt. Their medium is being. Whatever their presence touches has increased life. They see and they don't have to draw. They are the artists of being alive. I especially like that because I don't paint and I don't do much music. So, okay, now I've got an art too, being alive. That is not, I totally respect the art that you all do. Congregation, let me tell you. And the whole thing about wholeness, though, is it's a bit paradoxical. It's the object of our quest, but yet it's our birthright. It's always there, okay? And it is a destination in a way. It's also the journey. It's a slippery little divine idea. And this one. I wanted to read a story of the monk and the gold Buddha. I love the story. Can you not tell? I read all the time. Stories my thing. So it's funny. I know Travis and Linda traveled back really early. They were worried about the rain, not me. I drove in. I got in about 8 o'clock last night. So, thank you for bearing with me on this. Well, so what it was is back in 57, a group of monks had to relocate a clay Buddha, a very valuable clay Buddha in the like in the Siamese area. And so they were lifting this heavy Buddha and trying to relocate it before the armies came in and could destroy it. And they noticed it was beginning to crack, and they got worried, and they let it down. And it was going to rain, it was in the jungles kind of, so they covered it with a tarp. And this one monk became very worried that night. He went to see, to make sure everything was okay. And he had a lantern with him, and he lifted up the tarp, and you could see in that crack, there was something shining. And maybe some of you all know this story. But he got curious and wanted to make sure everything was okay. But the more he looked, it was very bright. And so he started chipping away at it. You guys, underneath the clay Buddha was a Buddha of solid gold, and that is probably why it's that heavy. And it was revealed, and what had happened is in another time, some monks were afraid for the Buddha, and they covered it in clay. They hid it that way to make it look less valuable. And didn't share their secret, so nobody knew there was the gold underneath. So like the monks, we hide our gold sometimes so that it can survive. Think about that. We hide our treasures and don't show it because it's a matter of survival. And maybe something we learned really early about survival. And in a sense, our work is to be like that of the monks, chipping away at the clay to finally show the golden essence of who we are. But Brummett says the metaphor doesn't tell the whole story. You see, our wholeness is not something static, something waiting to be discovered by a chisel, right? A chiseling away. The memory of our wholeness often grows and unfolds like a flower. And it grows and unfolds because it's this vital living force. It wants to be expressed. We are individualized expressions of God. So our wholeness grows from the soil of our own life experience. And we get to tend that soil. So, now, I was really grateful to have Brummett's words and stories because part of what I was dealing with this healing and wholeness is, well, I had cancer twice, and I've been very lucky, I believe. But I also know I very much participated in my own healing. But I was sitting with a good friend, Lisa Walker, from Dallas, and Lisa also had breast cancer. And we were saying, but we can't blame ourselves, you know, because we talk about your thoughts do determine what happens in your body. You can create disease. We know that. And I guess what we're having trouble is did we cause our cancer? Did we cause our cancer? It's something that we're doing that caused this cancer. And finally, Gio Downer, the teacher, said, you know, here's the deal. You can put your energy toward figuring out why, or you can be present with what is. And if you figure out why, hey, that's the booby prize. Because the really important thing is how you're participating in what is. And as Lisa and I both looked back, we realized how we released fear, how we knew, we just visualized the wholeness. And we trusted, we did have surgery, we didn't just do alternatives. But I thankfully had some good friends that helped me with Reiki. I was going to cover all the pieces for sure. But just to know, why is the booby prize? I kind of like that. That was really a very helpful part for me. So, spiritual healing is making visible the wholeness that is visible within each of us, that is within each of us, replacing error with truth in our consciousness. So, let's wrap it up. But I'm going to give you a sentence that maybe you can think about saying this week. I am awakening to the realization of my wholeness. I am whole right now. And Brummett recommends saying that 3 times a day. And also you might think about, you could say, Unity of Little Rock is awakening to the realization of wholeness. Unity of Little Rock is whole right now. You can put in our world. It doesn't just have to be you. Because as I say, wholeness is just everywhere present. So thank you this morning for letting us share our journeys. And in announcements, I'll tell you more about what's coming up for Sundays. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Dean. I especially like that about the why, because that's something that I discovered along the way, that it's sometimes it's just a waste of time to ask that question. Rather than just moving on. The why doesn't change anything. Yeah, it doesn't change a thing. Yeah, okay, that's why. But it still doesn't change the question at all. Like you feel good about it. You know, there's no love. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love, love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, I go inside and quiet my mind. I hear the Spirit simply say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that gives, love that sets us free. There is only love.
Did you notice the sun's coming out? Maybe we're gonna all go do some spring cleaning later on today after all. So, let's bring our baskets down. So grateful. So let us say together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. Whatever name you give it, it's one power can't see. It's the power of love in you and me. We speak so many languages, have different clothing, different colors, different names. but different is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. We'll remember once we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem from heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, or Father Time, or whatever name you give it. It's one power, can you see? It's the power of the Lord in you and me. One power, one power, one power. One power, one power, one power. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon for the love we felt so deep. It's one power, one power. It's one power, one power. It's the power of the love that lives forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power.
Tim, who wrote that?
That is a Daniel non-song that I have been scared to do ever since I finally got the courage to do it. So he did it. He did it one morning we were there, and I said, I'm going to do that like that. So
That's beautiful.
it's
I'm
a
so glad.
beautiful song.
And I could see that it was maybe a challenge musically, but man, it was.
Oh, I can't kill it like he does. I did it the Tam way, not the Daniel. Not the
And I like the Tam way. So, what have we got coming up here at Unity? The Songwriters Group is this Wednesday. We're going with that deal? We are. Very good, very good. And if I'm not mistaken, all right, wow, our Travis Wiley, I wrote a real good thing in the newsletter on that. Travis is going to do nutritional response testing, and he is so passionate, you guys, about this work that, and you know he's engaging, so at least you won't be bored. You'll enjoy the message. So, and then there is a board meeting following that after WOW, and then on the 14th, or no, the 19th, we've got Sounds of Unity, and don't think the group's up yet. Do you know?
It is, but we can't remove it.
Well, I'll definitely get it out this week. Let me know if you can find it. And then we have potluck Sunday, y'all, this Easter, there will be ham. And other food, we're gonna have.
You did say that, right? Everybody-
There will be ham and other good vegetarian dishes, good sides. I'm sure some cheese grits will be in there, but it's not the last Sunday, it's on Easter, so that everyone will have a good place to be. And then next Sunday is special because Barbara White from Dallas is going to be here. And I will be getting more information in the newsletter this week. But she is such a sweet spirit. She worked with Michael Beckwith for many years in California. And man, she's deep.
Cool.
So, but just a fun person to be with too. And I believe she's going to do a short class afterwards called On the Levels of Consciousness. And it sounds like a big title, but she'll make that, so it'll be really important, good class if you all want to attend that. I've enjoyed this Sunday so much, and we need to tell people to come because, and maybe I'm wrong, but these Sunday celebrations lift me up so much, and it's us being together and sharing everything, the music and the messages all go together, and the prayers and the good meditations. So, we need everyone to show up. But I'm preaching to the choir here, but let everyone know. So let us come together. So we say together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, let